Hello and welcome to another episode of OLA This Week. I'm Mr. Love.
And I'm Mr. Moore. Good morning, OLA.
Good morning, and we are joined today by a living legend, former Justiciana Braves Hall of Honor. Actually, that's current as well because that never goes away. Sac Joaquin Section Hall of Fame and California State Coach of the Year 2017. And of course, our first grade teacher, Mrs. Lynn Wright. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So nice to have you, Mrs. Wright.
Thank you.
Good to have you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, we have another big week coming up.
Big week. Auction's on its way, so we're excited. Yep. We're just a few days away from auction and totally awesome prom.
Yep. Do you have your costume?
I'm ready. I am ready, and my wife is ready. We're prepared to look the part of the 80s heyday. So it was a special time for me in high school.
Very nice. 80s, Looking forward to seeing what you will appear as.
We are excited.
And Mrs. Wright, are you and Mr. Wright coming?
It all depends. We have a tournament that day, so it depends on how the girls perform.
Do. Okay.
Hopefully they play well and we get there at the tail end. So.
Okay. Well, you can't see it right now on camera, but like all around this room, right, we've put in some of the class auction projects.
Oh yeah.
And boy, I'm going to be sorry to see them go because they have been so well done. They just look great. Our office looks beautiful with the decorations, and after Saturday night, they'll be gone after the bidding.
That's right, but it's been nice to have them in our hallway and just appreciate all the hard work the kids have put in. These are amazing. I think people are going to love to have them in their home. They're just great projects.
Yep. Can you guys all, when I count to 3, I want you guys to go like this, okay? Just like that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, down. 1, 2, 3. Down. 1, 2, 3. All right, we are practicing moving our paddles.
Okay, I was wondering.
I usually have no trouble doing that.
What are we practicing?
Yes.
It just cost me some money. That's good.
It did. And our intrepid producer, Miss Blanchfield, is also raising her paddle, so thank you for that. We have, and sometimes we have a lot of days off at school, and sometimes I think our parents probably wonder, what's going on during those days? Well, one of those days that's coming up is our diocesan ministry days. And so every year on a Friday at this time, all of our faculties from all of our Catholic schools meet over at, this year it's going to be at St. Francis High School.
Right.
Yep.
And when we meet over there, there's just a variety of workshops. We have keynote speakers, but it's a really great powwow. I really enjoy the day because it gives us a chance to see some of our friends, some of our coworkers who work at other schools. So it's not only a great day to just learn new things about teaching the faith, because that's what the focus of the day is, but it's also a chance for us to network and to just continue to build those relations with the other people that we work with at other schools. And our school is a great network of schools that we all learn from each other, we develop together, and so we're looking forward to a really good day at Ministry Day.
And Catholic school teaching is a ministry. I mean, it's so important that we recognize that that's what we do, and it really brings something to the parish. So.
And it's special to be able to celebrate Mass with all of our colleagues throughout the diocese with the bishop. So that's really a nice day too.
For sure.
It's like the State of the Union speech, and how everybody's there. All right. So in my bulletin this week, my bulletin article, which you will see today with today's Tuesday bulletin, I wrote about reading and literacy, which is kind of an important topic in school. Yes. And so one of the things I wanted to do was, well, the first thing I did in the article was I just linked to something that I had seen online, and it was from a man named Tim Ferriss who writes something called 5 Bullet Friday. It's kind of a neat thing. But anyway, he had this one piece in there about speed reading and how you can increase your reading by 300%. And I thought, wow, that's kind of cool. I would like to increase my reading by that much.
Me too.
Yes. And so, and while it's not all about how fast you read, especially in school, our students need to be able to comprehend, they need to be able to do analysis, but they also, and at the higher grades, we want them to be able to do what's called a closed reading. But it was kind of a neat article. I just wanted to share it with parents as their children start to have to read more and more. However, in the younger grades, they're not reading to learn, they're
learning to read.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And it takes lots and lots and lots of practice.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect, whether you're playing the piano, hitting a volleyball, hitting a baseball. The more you practice, the better you get.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the biggest things that kids can do and parents can do with their children.
That's right. And so, and in first grade, it's an amazing year. In kindergarten, they start to learn their letters, and they come in knowing how to count and everything. But what I've noticed, at least, is every year, kids probably learn about the same amount each year. I mean, it's just natural. But it just feels like it's exponential, the growth in first grade.
They come in reading, not very confidently, and they finish the year very fluent readers. But what's most important is that they understand what they read so much more than what they did when they come at the beginning of the year.
Right.
And then reading, of course, translates to their writing, and the more they read, the better they write. And they start the year barely writing sentences and finish the year writing paragraphs. So it's a lot of fun to see their growth.
It is a lot of fun, and you do such a great job of meeting the kids where they are, setting those really high expectations for them.
Thank you.
And so by the end of the year, there's evidence all around the classroom of what the kids have learned.
Of course, I need the parents' help in doing that. It's important that they read nightly at home,
That's right.
Not only during the school week, but on the weekends. And of course, it's important for the kids to see their parents reading
Absolutely.
as well.
Yes.
Otherwise, why should they learn to read?
Modeling that,
Absolutely.
to showcase how important it is to read. And it begins young. I mean, they're coming to you reading a little bit, like you said. They're not really confident, and they end very confident, but they come to you reading probably because the preschool parents are reading to their kids at home. And those first 5 years are so important for parents to read to their kids.
I saw an article once when I was a young parent stating that kids, by the time they start kindergarten, should have listened to 5,000 books.
Yes.
And that seems like such a huge number, but it really is 3 books a day that kids should have heard. And obviously, the more they hear, the more they start to see how letters and sounds and patterns, how it works together. So it's so very important.
And I know when we talked yesterday, you had said, speaking of letters, sounds, and patterns, playing word games with kids is really important for parents.
It is. Rhyming games. When you're at the restaurant, get off the phone, play hangman. Just communicate, talk, have conversations.
Right.
It's so important that kids hear language, they see the written word, and then they become more comfortable and familiar with it.
Yeah, and it's not just about reading, it's about literacy. That whole idea that we're learning to express our ideas in a literary way. It starts very young, and you're right, the parents set the tone for that at home.
Absolutely.
All right, and I was able to, once you get up to the older grades, again, you're reading to learn. And so I talked to Mrs. Smith, and our 8th grade teacher who teaches 3 sections of grammar, but also literature and reading. And she said the same thing. She's really, she stressed the importance of giving kids choice, allowing them to choose things that are of their interest. And one of the things that she said that I really liked too was pay attention to the vocabulary, because it's through reading that not only do we become great writers, but that we build our vocabulary. Right. I remember in college having this, before we had internet dictionaries, I remember having a pretty thick dictionary, but it was a paperback. Right. And it was, for me, it was like a baseball mitt that had been used, and over time the ends of the pages were all bent and tattered almost, and the cover was almost unrecognizable by the time I finished college. It was because I'd used it so much to check vocabulary, and so that's important for kids to do. And she talks about annotation, like as you're reading, make notes of what you're reading. You're not just reading to get through the story, but you're reading to analyze the story, to look at the character development, the plot, the theme of the story.
I think you can do that with younger children as well. When you're reading with them, ask questions. What's the problem in the story? What do you think's going to happen next? What's your favorite part? Discuss the story. That also helps improve comprehension. So it can go in. It's spread down to the younger grades as well.
I had a great day yesterday. I got to sub in preschool and TK as the TK aide yesterday, and we went to the library for our first time. And our wonderful librarian read to the TK students, and same thing, ask questions afterwards. Talk. The discussion was about what the book was about, even though it was very short. Like you said, 5,000 books seems like a lot, but for TK and for preschool, these are short little 5-10 page books. So, and they're wonderful thematic books that we have in our library. So it was a great day, and I get to sub again this morning.
That's great.
TK, so I'm excited.
That's awesome. And the annotating, the questioning is awesome. And as far as annotations go, like a lot of times our kids don't want to write in their books because they're owned by the school. So what I would always do when I was teaching was I'd just tear off a bunch of sticky notes and cut them into strips, and I'd say, if you see anything, stick it in that book and make that annotation that way. So you mentioned being in the preschool yesterday and then today. How did that go for you? How's the preschool looking?
Oh my gosh! So we have wonderful preschool and TK instruction going on. The teachers are wonderful. Their procedures are amazing. So the young people are learning right away what it means to be part of a school community, a classroom community, how to behave appropriately in the classroom community. So it's just great procedures, and our little preschool is set up so well by the teachers. So I'm so excited to be in there and again to experience it today. So I look forward to it.
Nice.
And from a first grade perspective, that must be nice for you to know that they're not just being prepared in kindergarten, but there's kind of all the way through.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. It makes it really easy to continue with their education and their growth, and makes it easier for us. That's right. So if they know what's expected from the get-go, makes it easy.
And how has your teaching gone this year? How's your first grade class?
Oh, they're adorable. They are progressing beautifully. They've got procedures down. They're working really hard. We're getting ready to have our second math test this week, which I'm excited about. They're reading more confidently. I couldn't be more happy with their progress.
And I would be remiss if I didn't ask, how is your volleyball team at St. Francis High School this year?
We were off to a great start. We are 15-0. Right now.
Wow.
And we have a big one tonight, so send good thoughts our way about 6 o'clock. So right now it's against Consumnes Oaks, and they too in league are undefeated, so it should be fun tonight.
It's Battle of the Titans then.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, well, very good. Just good luck tonight, and good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you so much.
Please remember to like and share and follow our program.
Thank you for watching today. Thank you, Mrs. Wright.
My pleasure.
For being here. And
My pleasure.
And thank you, Ms. Blanchfield, for once again producing our show. We really appreciate it.
Mr. Love.
Mr. Moore.
Remember,
love more than you think you can. Bye.